Running a marathon is easier than dating in New York City.
Running a marathon is like 10 times easier because I can control it.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sunday, July 24th at 4:30. I'm going outside for the first time today. Got my go-go juice. We're going to Flywheel. Spin, spin, spin. I'm late. I'm late. I'm so late. I'm late. Almost there. Oh, wait! Hold on, I did not plan this at all. This is a total unintentional. Well, no, I wanted to go to Chobani, but I forgot that this was a thing. Do you want to do this?
Let's take a second to discuss the fact that Magnum is the name of a very well-known condom brand.
It's pleasure in every step.
Can you imagine that board meeting? That conversation?
When they were making the ice cream?
Branding it, being like, but the name Magnum.
You're like, it's orgasmic. For both.
I'm like really excited. This was a really good find. Cheers. Mine's stuck. That's pretty bomb.
All right, let's go find pizza. So we came to Otto. Ooh, I look naked. And we thought we'd start with a bowl of cheese. Oh yeah, a bowl of cheese. Pizza. Anoush. I'm gonna eat all of this. All right. Backstory on this lady pal. Anoush, what was your marathon PR time before your Boston qualifying time?
3:55.
And then what did you run when you qualified for Boston?
3:16.
Casual.
39-minute difference.
And how long did that take?
Honestly, so the first marathon I ran was in 2014 in the spring, and then I really stopped training for about 6 months. Picked Josh up for the spring of the next year.
We share a coach.
Yeah, Josh.
I found Josh because of Nooshi Poo.
Yeah, and so I trained with Josh, so it was about 8 months of training, but like 4 months of marathon training, which is a very short period of time.
That is a short period of time. I want to know about your experience, because I don't think we've ever actually talked about this. Have we?
Probably not.
I'm very into myself, so I rarely talk about other people. We're laughing because it's true. I can't believe we've never talked about this.
Yeah, it's interesting. So the first time I picked Josh up was right before the New York City half last year.
And
my PR was
winter.
Winter, and I was terrified. Like I went to one practice, was like, these chicks are like way too hardcore for me. Like I really need like a way easier team. Like I'd never trained. Like I did Hal Higdon training program, which is just like mileage.
I've heard of him.
Heard of him? Just like mileage. So like I got it done.
How all of us do it when we get started.
Yeah, like I got it done and I finished, and then I was like, you know what? I'm too competitive for this. Like I need to do better and feel good, because I finished and hated the marathon. It hurt so badly, and I was angry at the finish line, and then it took me a couple months before I was like, I really want to do this again, and it took me a full year before I really wanted to actually sign up for one.
Gotcha. It took me a full year to run. No, it took me a year and 6 months for me to run another one. But that wasn't like intentional, that was life.
Yeah. Mine was like, oh, it's not the right time. Like
I definitely wasn't like, when can I do that again? Like when I finished my first half, I didn't even feel like that.
No.
That came like a week, 2 weeks later. But I digress. Okay.
So
did you decide to do Did you BQ at your second marathon?
Yeah.
Did you decide that you wanted to BQ when you found Josh and started going to Gotham City Runners?
Yeah, because all these ladies that I was running with, first of all, were so much faster than me. Like, I was dying at practices. They all BQ'd by, like, they were running 308s, 316s. And I was like, I just want to run a 335. Like, if they can do that, really then, like, I must be able to do a 335, right? Yeah. So that's when the idea popped into my head. Before, it was just to get better. I was like, a 345 would be amazing.
That's what I was
That's what I wanted.
Or wanted.
I wanted a 345.
That's interesting.
But I didn't shoot for a 316.
I mean, no, we'll get there. You definitely, like, blew it out of the park. When did you start to feel like it was possible?
It took a while. Like, the summer training is really difficult. It's hot.
Ugh.
Like, my times are getting significantly slower. Like, it's really hard to look. Like, I use Strava. It's really hard to, even the analytics tool will tell you, like, this run is trending slower. And it's like a slap in the face because you're upping your mileage. Like, shut up. Just like when your Garmin tells you to move. You're just like, you don't know me.
Garmin.
You know nothing about me. So it's hard to tell that you're making any progress.
Yeah.
So it really took until the fall when the temperature cooled off for me to understand how much faster I was getting. And the other thing that is a huge indicator is that Josh has you race a lot. Mm. And so that's terrifying to me. Yeah. Last summer, he's like, you're doing a 5K. And I was like, I'm doing like, what? Like, I don't do 5Ks. I'm training for a marathon. And I didn't PR, obviously. It was 89 degrees. But it was, like, one of those things where you finished and he looked at you and you knew you did what he wanted you to do. And that's when you knew you're on track.
Oh, this is cute.
So I think that doing all these races, like, even though they hurt my ego a lot, like, not being able to hold the pace I was intending to in the summer, like, it, in the end, paid off.
What do you think is the hardest part about doing the training?
Your life.
Yeah, social life.
Like, I became single during training.
You what?
So, like, in the middle of marathon training was when I was single for the first time in, like, 3 years.
Which is probably the best thing you could do. If you're single and you're
dragging
hurting,
someone down
I'm telling you, the best thing you can do is run a marathon.
So, yeah, I mean, I can attribute part of my time and, like, the getting, like, really throwing myself into it was, like, a cop-out mechanism for sure.
Not a cop-out, a
coping mechanism.
Big difference.
Yeah, sorry. Huge coping mechanism for me.
A great one, a very healthy one. Running a marathon is easier than dating in New York City.
Running a marathon is like 10 times easier because I can control it. Like, I can't control.
And it hurts less.
It hurts less. First dates are...
Your Instagram pictures are infinitely better. All right, we are so off topic right now. Reel it in.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
So it's fall. Which marathon was it at? Philadelphia?
Philadelphia.
What was going through your brain the week of and the day of?
There's going from a 355 and trying to be BQ is a head game.
I had no idea.
You have to
so weird. I'm not experiencing that at all.
You have to truly believe that you're a different athlete by the time you get to that starting line. And for me, I went through all of my life not thinking that I was good enough for this. And so Josh kind of realized, I think he knew the whole time, but he didn't bring it up until that week where he was like, why don't you think you're good enough for this? And I think I sobbed in his apartment. And he was like, you need to know. Like, look at your times. This isn't like, brain science. Like, look at the times on the sheet. And when I tell you what you're going to run, it's not going to be a surprise. And I think I kind of knew where the ballpark was. And then he threw me a number the night before that was, like, way different than I was expecting.
What was the number?
He threw me a 319. And I was like, a 319? I can't do that. I was like, I just want to do a 335. Like, can't we just do that and call it a day?
Leave room for improvement.
Yeah. Like, I want to do this and never run one again.
Check.
So, yeah.
All right, morning of
the race. So I got to have caffeine.
Ooh, feeling good.
Because you haven't had it in 3 weeks, you, like, literally feel like you could take over the world. You feel so good. You feel so good.
Caffeine high.
It's like a caffeine high like no other.
Like Rocky music
like,
playing and you're running
like,
up the Philly
you're in
steps.
Philly, you're like going up the art
da,
stand.
da, da, da. What was the most surprising thing that happened to you that morning?
After I
or
crossed...
during the race? Like, what was the most surprising thing that you learned or experienced that you, like, just would never have seen coming?
I don't think I thought it would be... It definitely was painful, right? But I think that...
God, that hurts to
It
hear.
was way less... Like, I don't remember that. That's not what I remember. Versus my first marathon, all I remember is the pain. Like, even if you ask me now, I would still associate it with, like, really painful times.
Oh, I'm with you.
But this one, I associate with, like, tears of happiness at mile 24 when I saw the whole team. I remember mile 24 to 26, my teammate jumped in and we played a game where we would take down people on the course. And she was like, guy with red shirt. And we would take him out and, like, keep going. And so everything, it became, like, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Hurts so good.
It hurt so good. I complained a little bit only when people would listen to me, and if people weren't there, I probably wouldn't have complained. And then this girl passed me at mile 22, and I'll never forget her face and what she looked like, even though I blasted by her after that, and I feel really bad. I never found out who she was. I was hurting. Mile 22, I was like, all of a sudden I was like, I'm gonna PR. I don't really care anymore. Like, maybe I should just chill out because it's kind of hurting. And I started to slow down, and she came out of nowhere. She looked at me, I looked at her, she just goes, why would you slow down now? This is when we do hard work. This is where we start to hurt and we put in the work. And she literally said that to me. And I looked at her and I was kind of like, yes. Yes. So
Josh paid her, here's a spoiler alert, Josh paid her $20 to do that.
And then I took off, and I never saw her again.
That's crazy. How weird.
It's so strange.
What a weird thing to
Like,
say.
maybe she's,
I mean, not a weird thing
she's
to
not
say.
real because I never saw her again. You know?
What if you imagined
I could have
her?
imagined her.
Cool.
Things
All right.
things happened.
So, what surprised you the most about yourself during the race?
The fact that I didn't get scared when I saw my watch go off a few times, like...
Yeah, what was that
the
like
first
looking at your
half-
watch?
The first half, Josh goes, here, just run it in 140, cross it in 140, and then just start, you know, whatever feels comfortable. Take it down. Get as fast as you can. I saw numbers sub 7, and normally that would have freaked me out, and I've been like, I'm going too fast, I need to slow down, or whatever. And I kind of took it by feel rather than by, like, and I trusted the process. I was like, I can run a 6:45.
I am.
And I'm doing it, and I'm okay, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep going, and like low 7s aren't gonna kill me. Like, I've done this in practice.
God,
and
I think that's the biggest thing is like not letting a number freak you out. I think the second you let a
Yeah.
number freak you out, you're done.
you're totally done.
That's
Totally
the mental
done.
game. That makes total sense. That's part of being present too.
Yep.
Trust. Ugh.
Yeah. And like that's why some of our teammates have like not taken their watches, or Josh.
Yeah.
The week before the race, Josh told me I wasn't racing with a watch because of that, because I have such a huge issue with like looking at the time and freaking out.
Yeah, so do I. Would you do anything differently if you could go back in time?
If I could do anything differently, I think having a little more trust, but that's always in retrospect. Like, you can't, if you had
Hindsight's
too
always
much, you know,
20/20. Your best piece of advice for me.
trust the process. Don't question Josh, even, like, you can question him out loud, but, like, totally, you gotta give him your full trust, because he's done this before. I'm not the only person that he's had go from a 3:55 to an incredibly, like, fast time. And just that it'll click one day. Like, one day of this training, it'll just kind of come together and you'll just know.
Anoush, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
You're welcome.
This was fun.
Yeah, I hope it helps.
It did. I just love hearing people talk about a marathon. Isn't that weird?
Did you know that about her?
I could do this all day long. Tomorrow's Monday. Let's kick ass.